So you have heard today a lot of experiences, examples, cases, horror stories, I understand, about doing business in the rest of the world, right? And what IP has to do with that. Of course, those experiences are useful for SMEs, but I'm sure they are useful actually for all the businesses that we have in Europe. And certainly they confirm the trends that we all know about. Globalization is there. Yes, it is hard work, as we understood from one of the speakers before. It's hard work for SMEs to do business outside Europe, and you have to target very well your markets, and you have to know what you want. But it is inevitable that the European businesses are faced with increasing competition everywhere, including our own markets. And as one of the panelists said before as well, we are lagging behind, so we have to do better. That is something that I took actually from the previous discussion. Now, going to the IP then, yes, IP protection is vital for being a successful company or not inside the EU and outside the EU. I think there is no discussion about that. And if you then look at the IP picture globally, I think it's also clear that, yes, you know, that you can look at it from a positive and a negative angle, right? You can say, okay, there is improvement. China is really trying to improve its record in terms of IP protection, in terms of IP registration and in terms of IP enforcement. We had Singapore, which is 20 miles or kilometers ahead of us in many issues, whatever you want to say. So that sounds like a positive story. But hey, let's not forget the negative story as well. Too often in China, you still have the bad faith registration of trademarks. Too often, European companies and European businesses are actually subject of hijacking, or subject of theft of trade secrets, subject of theft of creativity and innovation in general. So too often, I think, our SMEs are having a far more difficult job outside the EU than foreign SMEs have in Europe. Because in Europe, we do have a very decent set of IP registration and a decent set of enforcement. So there is still some work to do. And I'm very glad that the International IP Helpdesk is obviously one of the players out there to help the European SMEs in facing all these challenges, right? Okay, this is something you all know, right? This is nothing new, fair enough. So what next? That's then, of course, the interesting part. What next? Exciting times we have, not only Brexit, but we also have, of course, as European Commission, we will have a new Commission as from the 1st of November. There are European elections coming up in May. There will be new financial arrangements as well in place soon. And all that together actually makes that we are now, in the next months ahead, in a moment that we have to think what we want from the European institutions in the next 5 years. Now, I have, first of all, a remark on the International IP Helpdesks. So they are paid under the COSME program, right? IISM is involved. And it is no secret, I think, that we had plans actually to expand the International IP Helpdesks with an office in India. I'm very sad to announce you that due to financial struggles, we will have to postpone that initiative at least with 1 year. So this is bad news. Perhaps, but this is inevitable. It's not yet confirmed, but don't have too many hopes that we will soon start an office in India, although India is on our radar screen as one of the growing markets, and actually out of the evaluation of the International IP Helpdesk, there came this suggestion actually to start one helpdesk as well for India. It's not off our radar screen, but it is a matter of postponement. Now, on the other hand, what I've tried as well to do is with the panel actually to see, okay, what is the wish list actually of the people that are working in practice for us, European Commission, European Union. And the wish list is maybe as follows. I mean, not exclusively, but first of all, funding. I take it again that the funding of our businesses, the funding of SMEs, access to finance is still far more difficult here than it is apparently in the US, of course, but also now in China and Singapore, and that's something we have to take very seriously. The price of IP protection, someone mentioned that it is too high in Europe. We have to lower that. We have to do more maybe as well in this field, in research hubs and what have you. Okay, a money issue. Money is important, apart from time, as we know from the previous panel. So this is something we will take seriously. But it's not only about money and timing, it's also about actually coordination, communication, and working together. And there, one of the elements that we are going to explore further as DG GROW is the development of IP management, of open innovation. It's not brand new, but this will certainly in the next 5 years become one of our core initiatives that on the one hand we have creative people with good ideas, with innovative ideas, with creative ideas, and on the other hand we have actually businesses that may need that creativity and that innovation. And too often it's too difficult actually to bring them together. And one of the speakers here actually had an SME that precisely was there to combine the two, the demand and the offer. And we are going to promote that further. So this is one of the things where we will come back to you, ask your input. But this is certainly something that we will do in the future, right? Now, more of the wish list, the creation of a global IP office, why not? But that is obviously a little bit too far ahead and not really in our hands. Let's start by having very good IP offices in the EU, and I'm very happy that we have them with the EU IPO and also with the EPO in Europe. Local support, so the continuation of local support in markets outside the EU. Yes, as I said, don't get upset. The International IPR Helpdesk will continue to exist, and that we can guarantee you. And working and cooperation better together. Well, that goes without saying. All of us, we need to help each other when we are out there in third countries doing business, right? Now, if there is anything on the wish list that I forgot, don't hesitate to mention it to us. Whether you are working on an IPR help desk, whether you are working for a business, whether you are a business maybe, why not? Just let us know what you think we should do in the next 5 years, because this is the moment now actually to make your wish list and to make your wish list known to us. And I think with these words, I have not exhausted my 15 minutes, which I'm really proud about. And finally, let me thank the people who have organized this event today. Let me thank the participants, the speakers, and everyone else. And let me wish you a very good and safe trip back home. Thank you for your attention.